Hayi bandla. Benithi kwenzakalani? Sun City. He. Umusa ulambile. Ngena ngizwa ngithi ngilambile. Ngatshela bani ukuthi ngilambile. Ngasho nini? Yo, hi Shem. Hey, Musa is struggling in prison. Obviously, I'm not in a fucking hotel. What the fuck do you think is happening? Like, let's start there. But, hayi. Le mina bese ikhulunywa. Sengibambe emoyeni ukuthi I'm like, hawu bathong. Because I did say, ukuthi indaba zami uzosizwa ngami.
So Musa Khawula is out. And true to the form, he didn't take long before he went back straight to social media, hosting a Twitter space and sharing his side of recent events. But it was like a 32-minute audio that he recorded. And I'm not going to put everything, which I had to trim down to the most important parts. What is wild is that you would think after everything, after being in prison for that long, he would come back with a little more low-key. Maybe he would try to lay low, keep things cute and avoid drama, but no, he's not in that mood. The moment he had the chance, he went straight back to exposing people, calling names and spilling tea. And honestly, some people loved that about him. So the story that he started with was the one that he trended for, I think, a couple of weeks ago when they were talking about how hungry he was in prison. So since report first emerged that Musa was in prison, that one headline that stood out was from Sunday World, which claimed Musa was struggling behind bars. That report sparked conversation, mostly confusion, with some people questioning how someone can struggle in prison. The basic assumption is that once you are inside, your basic needs, food, shelter, hygiene, are provided. So what exactly were they talking about? Musa addressed this issue. He denied being in bed space or desperate. According to him, the article might have exaggerated or even misrepresented his condition. He suggested that there might have been motives behind pushing that headline, possibly maybe trying to really help him, or it was maybe for somebody else, under the pretense that it was for his benefit. He went on to mention a lot of stuff. He was just all over the place because I think he said at some point that he had a lot of information that was in his head, so he didn't know where to go. But here is what he had to say, and after that I'm going to come back with the rest of my comments.
Hi, Inno, and your lies. Let's start there. Let me tell you how this whole rumor started, okay? 3 weeks ago, Inno is someone I often speak to. I would often call, like, obviously, when you're in prison, your line of communication is very limited, highly limited. So whenever there's a chance, you are going to talk to like 1 or 2 people or whatever, or whoever that's available at that time. So here I am calling in for a little chit chat. And then she told me, okay, this was not a full, complete conversation in that little moment, right? So she said to me, she has a friend of hers from the city press, and this friend of hers is very worried about me and wara. I'm like, bitch, I don't know no one from City Press. Let's start there. We don't have friends at City Press. So, but anyway, if she's wishing us well, that's cute for her. We appreciate that. She didn't get into the contents, or maybe she wanted me to give her information, but she said to me, they've decided, listen to me very well and very, very carefully. They've decided that I think, noma wena ungenaphi khona lapho, but they've decided that as they are friends of mine, they're very concerned. And yeah, and by the way, none of them came to see me, or none of them are seeing me rather. So I don't know what the fuck. Oh, they're going to be raising some funds. I'm like, what funds? What are the funds for? But no, we're raising some funds so we can help you and whatever. I'm like, bitch, if you're raising some funds, give me that money. I'm not going to say no to money, especially, okay, I know good when call my when I used to tell you guys, I'm like, I don't want your money and whatsoever. Instead, invest your time. What I want is your time. I'm still standing on that business until they changed at some point, but it was me who communicated that. Well, she's telling me all of that stuff. I'm like, oh, this friend is so kind from the city press. Yeah, the conversation sort of cut there. There was no further detail. There was no further information. And I didn't even think there was even going to be anything written because we didn't even finalize that conversation. And that was probably going to be the last time I was going to speak to Inno. And then McG and them, they were saying, oh, this is the present God letting me know, right? They were saying how hungry you are and how struggling you are and the whatnot. And in my head, I'm like, oh shit. So this is behind this whole thing. And then that officer, very gossipy of him. So he tells me about the article. He's like, no, there's a couple of articles as well, written, and yo, you are so hungry, but gig, I haven't gotten no money. Where is all of this money? Then fine, let's say I'm hungry, I'm dying, I don't have underwear to put on. Where is the money? So I learned from Chris Excel yesterday when I had a word with him. Then he tells me about a crowd fund that has been started. I'm like, what crowd fund? I have no idea. I literally have no idea. I don't know what you're talking about. What's this crowd fund about? And most importantly, where the fuck is the money? If the crowd fund is started for me, that's cute or whatever. I appreciate the people that would throw money in there, but where is that money? In any case, so there's a lot of things that I want to that I want to talk about. My head is literally spinning because I don't even know where to start. But I wanted you to know that we are here and we're very much alive. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Nabo Mike Jibenu and the wrong information. And by the way, one last thing I could say just to let you know that the information didn't have any credibility to it because I left Sun City in May. So I don't understand in September when people are saying I'm hungry in Sun City. I haven't been in Sun City in from May, June, July, August. In 4 months, I haven't been in Sun City. But suppose anything for the dollar and anything for views, but I'm not here to also do corrections and whatsoever. Let people believe what they want to believe, because I did say good indaba zami uzosizwa ngami, and that is facts. So yeah, let's talk soon. Good night.
So I had to just cut out a lot of stuff. So if you guys want to watch the rest of the 32 minutes, you can go on Twitter. It is there. I'm hoping that it's still there. You can go and listen to what he said, because he was just all over the place. He was talking about everything at once, and I tried to just put everything together of one thing without having to like confuse topics and stuff. Then there is the case of Hamilton, whom Musa says ended up in prison. Musa went on to say the reason why he's in prison is because his girlfriend got him arrested because of assault. He beat up his girlfriend. As this part stood out to me personally, because if it's true, it reflects how some of the personal choices people make outside their household can become the very source of their downfall. Let's be honest, Hamilton reportedly has a wife and family. So if the reason he is now in prison because of something that happened with a girlfriend, it raises a bigger issue. Some situations in life are avoidable, and this might have been one of them. Had he simply remained committed to his household and avoided unnecessary complications, maybe none of this could have happened. It's not about moralizing relationships. It's about understanding how certain decisions carry weight and consequences, especially if they involved multiple lives. But coming back to Musa, his return hasn't been very calm in any way. In fact, it's been the opposite. Instead of laying low, reflecting, and even adjusting his approach, he seems to have come back with the same energy that got him into trouble in the first place. He is back to calling people out publicly, posting controversial opinions, and naming individuals who may or may not want to be associated with his platform right now. He also revealed that while he was away, someone he trusted allegedly betrayed him by taking control of his account, including YouTube, and selling them. To lose control of your digital platforms, especially when they are your main tools of expression and income, is no small thing. According to him, he had trusted someone with access, and that trust was broken. And even in the middle of all this, he's still throwing jabs. He referred to Vusi Matlala as his best friend. Again, it's this type of remarks that suggest that he is not taking a different approach this time around. What becomes clear in all of this is that Musa Khawula, regardless of where he's been or what he has been through, he's not trying to reinvent himself. There is no sign of a new strategy or a new attitude. He is walking right back into controversy, speaking freely, name dropping, and reopening old tensions. And that leads to the real question: can he stay out of trouble this time? Because with everything he already said and how quickly he said it, it feels like the risk of things escalating again is really high. If he hasn't addressed his legal matter in full and is still naming people tied to those situations, then there is always the possibility that he could end up right back in prison. But to be clear, this is not about celebrating anyone's return or downfall. It's simply about reporting what has been said and what is currently unfolding. Musa is out, he's active, and is already making statements that carry weight. Whether people take him seriously or not, the fact is that he is back in the conversation. And if recent days are anything to go by, he's not going to slow down anytime soon. What remains to be seen is whether he is going to land in the same trouble that put him away in the first place, or whether someone around him will step in before it gets to that point again. But anyway, that's all that I have to say about this case. But please do leave your comments down below and let me know what you think. Until the next time, peace.